to build upon what we started talking about in yesterday's mini pop-up training, spirituality's role in decolonizing our relationships. And today we're going to expand a little bit more on the subject of self-trust. And this is a hot topic. If you heard me in yesterday's Instagram live, or actually in yesterday's live stream, because I streamed it on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So if you caught that live stream, then you're going to be familiar with what I talking about right now. If you didn't catch it, make sure whatever platform you are on, you go find that live stream, spirituality's role in decolonizing your relationships. Go there, because what I'm going to teach you today builds upon that which we started yesterday. All right. So self-trust, trusting ourselves, simple, plain, easy, right? And yet not as easy to do, living under systems of supremacy, colonialism, oppression, and all of those other good things that we talk about here. And the reason for this is, if you recall from yesterday's training, the reason for this is because we have been taught not to trust ourselves. We have been taught that we are wrong. We have been taught to disconnect with ourselves. We have been taught that we cannot rely on ourselves for a source of information. We cannot rely on our bodies and the messages that our bodies are giving us as a source of information. And so we have severed that relationship with ourselves. And actually, we didn't do it, the system did it. And we have severed that relationship with ourselves. And I want to remind you that the definition of authenticity that I really love comes from Dr. Gabor Mate, and he talks about authenticity being our connection to ourselves. And, he talks about how we have need for, as humans, we're wired for connection, and we have a need to connect with our others around us, and we also have a need to connect with ourselves. And unfortunately, because of our experiences growing up, living under systems of supremacy, oppression, trauma, experiencing what that feels like in our own homes, our own families of origin, when we are taught that we cannot trust what we are feeling. We cannot trust what we are knowing. We cannot trust ourselves, just in general, just like that. And more importantly, we learned that we are wrong. We learned that we are wrong. And if you are familiar with Brené Brown's work, she talks about shame and defines shame as the feeling that I am wrong. Guilt is I made a mistake. Shame is I am a mistake. Guilt is I did something wrong. Shame is I am wrong. And so through this, being taught that we can't trust ourselves, we end up starting to believe that we're wrong. And then it becomes I am wrong and not that I did something wrong. And so how this relates to spirituality and decolonizing our relationships, well, this one is a little bit sneakier and trickier than it might have appeared on the surface. And the ways this all connects and intertwines together is because there's also this feeling in this sense that we cannot trust ourselves because in reality, we can't trust God. Because where was God when all of these awful things were happening to us? Where was God when we needed protecting? Where was God when all of these horrible things that we experienced growing up, these traumatic experiences we had, where was God then? And you can look around the world today and ask yourself the same question: where is God, right? And so, as it relates to spirituality and self trust, because we have lost this connection with ourselves and we feel we can't trust ourselves, that we are wrong and we cannot trust ourselves, it translates into we cannot trust God. And I did take some notes so that I could stay focused and pointed with you. And if I can't trust myself and I can't trust God, then I sure as heck cannot trust you. And so then what we do is we try to manipulate and control the people around us. In particular, people we care about, people we love. I see this a lot in romantic partnerships. And also you see it at work. You see it in friendships. You see it in any and all types of family relationships, right? If I can't trust myself and I can't trust God, then I sure as heck cannot trust you. And so therefore, I am going to do my darndest to manipulate and control you. And that is going to show up as us engaging in a whole heck of a lot of oppressive patterns that we learned living under systems of patriarchy, supremacy, colonialism, and all of that other really fun, toxic stuff that we're here to dismantle and demolish and eradicate from within ourselves. And so I want you to think about this and I want you to reflect on that and remember that, one, it's not your fault. Like, first of all, remember that it's not your fault. The system is designed this way. The system was designed this way. And the system remains this way as long as we continue to engage in these practices. So even though it's not your fault, it is your responsibility to ensure that you do not continue perpetuating this in your own relationships with yourself, with source, and with the people around you, with others, okay? And so this is why self-trust is such an important part of our spiritual work in decolonizing our relationships. And before I go today, I want to leave you with a short practice. And this is a practice, which means you're going to have to keep practicing it over and over and over again until you become more comfortable with it, okay? And again, simple, but not so easy. And this is a practice to learn to connect with yourself again. So as we're talking about the self-trust topic today, it is to reconnect with yourself. And so this practice that I'm going to give you, this exercise, is to get really quiet throughout the day. Take various moments throughout your day, throughout your night, and just get really quiet. Take a few breaths and tune into your body, literally, like tune in, turn inwards. Scan your body, notice what's going on, and honor what you hear. Honor what you notice. Are you noticing that you're feeling hungry? Are you noticing that you're feeling thirsty? Are you noticing that you're feeling lonely and you need a hug or a cuddle? Are you noticing you have to go pee? Are you noticing you haven't stopped and taken a break today? Are you noticing you need a nap and that you need to rest? What are you noticing? And then go honor the thing that you're noticing. So if you tune into yourself and you're noticing, like, wow, my breathing is really off right now. I haven't taken a full deep breath. Okay, great. Now honor that with a big, full, deep breath or two or three. If you tune in and you're noticing, like, oh, yeah, I'm starting to feel some hunger. Ooh, yeah, it might turn into hanger pretty soon. Great. Go nourish yourself. Go get some food. Nourish yourself. And this simple practice, the more you do this over and over and over again, I'm going to invite you to do this 5 times today at least, okay? Do this over and over and over again, and you will slowly continue, or you will slowly begin to cultivate that trust in yourself, in what signals your body is giving you, in what you're noticing. And I promise you, if you hang around with me, you are going to learn more about how this is going to start translating into decolonizing your relationships with others. Right now, we're starting with the relationship with ourselves and the relationship with Source. So, again, your practice is to take 5 moments of pause at some point during the day. Breathe, get quiet, tune into yourself. Notice what need you are having, what need is arising, and then go meet that need. If you're feeling hungry, nourish yourself. If you're feeling thirsty, quench your thirst. If you're feeling lonely, reach out to someone for connection. If you have to go pee, go pee, go have your bio break. Go do that over and over and over again, and do this every day.